Hello, everyone. Hope you all are doing good so far. It's very important that you keep practicing side by side. Then only you will, able to get it in your head and on your fingers. Now, the more fun part which will come. So let's see how we can plot different types of plots using the Matplotlib library. So let's start with the line plot. All right. So see, the focus in this session is to first clean your hands, right? When you learn to drive a car, you don't start rashing, or you should, you don't start just driving it like anything. You have to first practice. You have to clean your hands on the steering. You need to know, the right combination of accelerator and the clutch and all that stuff. So in a similar way, before you really start using these Matplotlib and all that stuff, it's important that your hands should get that level of practice. So now this session is more focused on, you know uh, trying to get your hands onto different types of plots. So we'll go with the line plot. So again, just you need to import the matplotlib, which we have already done. Then you have to specify the x values, the y values, and then the function to plot. Now since I'm using pyplot, so I don't need to mention what axis I want. Pyplot will automatically manage it. And plt.show, um, to show the past. Now, similarly, if you go into a bar plot, again you have to mention the x and y values. See, it's almost everything is same in each plot. You have to mention the x values, you have to mention the y values. The only difference is in the last function, right? For example, in the last case, if you want to use a line plot, so you have to just say plt.plot. Now plt.plot means by default it will go for a line, even if you don't tell anything. If you want to go for bar, you have to simply replace this word with bar. So plt.plot will be replaced by plt.bar, and this will give you the bar graph. Similarly, you can go for histogram. Now in histogram, since it's a different type of plot, we'll discuss how to interpret histogram later on. So in histogram, you don't need to mention x values, you only need to mention y values. X values would automatically be taken and stacked. All right, how this happens, what happens, how to interpret it, let's take it later affair. Okay, so in histogram you don't need to really mention the x values, only y values need to be mentioned. And then you, instead of, so in line plot you have given plt dot plot, in bar plot you have given plt dot bar. So now here you will give plt dot hist. So again, you don't, there is, since there is no x, you have to only mention the y argument, no x argument is there. All right. Similarly, scatter plot, one of the most commonly used plots. It gives you the relationship between two variables. Again, to how this is interpreted, we'll talk about this later. For the timing, our focus is to get your hands clean on the plotting part. So again, x values, y values. So instead of using plt.plot, plt.bar, or plt.hist, you have to use plt.scatter, mentioning the x and y arguments. Okay, and this will give you the scatter values like this. Okay, so the line plot, bar plot, histogram, and scatter plot, these are the most commonly used plots. Most of the visualization ends here I guess in a more than 80-90% cases. So later on, when I will take you into this into deeply into the journey of visualization, I will showcase you that's not the case. There are hundreds of things that you can do, hundreds of ways you can achieve this. But for the timing, just take it in your head. Four different plots. We have the line plot, we have the bar plot, we have the scatter plot, and we have the histogram. In all the cases except histogram, you have to mention the x and y values. In histogram, there is no x, there is y, because that's the way histogram tells you the distribution of data. So you don't need x values for that. So, and then for line plot, it's plt dot plot. For bar plot, it is plt dot bar. For histogram, it is plt dot hist, and for scatter, it is plt dot scatter. So easy to remember. Okay, so let's quickly take our hands onto the interface. Okay, so since my it's already imported, so I don't need to import matplotlib again. So I've given all the values. Again, hashtag means these are simply the comments. Okay, so hashtag is missing here. Again, it will give me it will give me the error if hashtag is not there. Okay, so let's run it. So that's where I get the line plot. Again, there is no label, there is no title, because this is the part of customization. So if you want to give title, you can give, you can write plt.x label, plt.y label, or whatever stuff you wish to use. For example, let's do it here. Right, suppose I want to have plt.x label. Okay, and let's say I want to labelize x as prices, just as an example. Okay, uh, there's some error. Oh yes, the hashtag is the issue here. So hashtag, see, if you're writing a comment, if hashtag is not given, it will give you the error. Okay, so I want to give extra argument here, which is my labeling of my x-axis. So I want to label it as prices, and let's run. Yeah. So if you can see here, the X label, the prices are there. Similarly, you can customize to Y label also, you can give the title also, and so on. So it would be plt.y label if you want to write Y label. If you want to title, so it would be plt.title. Simple as it is. If you want to draw a bar, okay, so this data is exactly same to what I have used in the line plot, okay, except the fact that instead of plt dot plot, I have used plt dot bar. So this will give me a bar chart. Simple. Okay. Nothing. Just clean your hands. Just set your hands before we dive deep into customization and all that. Different steps that things that we have to do. Similarly, if you want to plot a histogram, so in histogram you don't need to have the x values. There is no logic of x values in histogram because it gives you the distribution of data, and more interpretation will do in future. So simple, you run. Again, you can make customizations wherever you want. You want to have X label, Y label, whatever you want to put, you can put it, right? Codes I have discussed above. So this is your histogram, the frequency of the data. So as such, it's a very flat data. And then the scatter plot, the one of the most popular plots that are used in business analysis. And yeah, so that's the scatter. And yep, that's the scatter. It tells you the interrelationship between two variables, that how x is moving with y. So customizations are not there, that will take as a part of later on. But yes, if you want to have x label, y label, titles, all that I have already discussed. All right, so plt.x label will help you in marking the x-axis. Plt.y label will help you in marking the y-axis. Plt dot title will help you in marking the title of the graph, and plt dot legend will give the legends. For legends, you don't need to give specific arguments; they are taken automatically as per the values of the data or the headings of the data. Okay, so these are the four most commonly used plots that are used in business analysis. Okay, now the next is the customizing the data appearances. So far we have learned the customization in the form of giving the Y labels, X labels, title, and legend. These are the basic customizations. Now we would talk about customizing the appearance of the data. Like, suppose I want to give markers, I want to change the style of my lining, I want to change colors of, X values should have different colors, Y values should have different colors. So how can I do that? So that's also the part of customizing the data appearance. Okay, so for example, let's take an example of a line plot. So in a line plot, again, this is the same data which I have used above to draw the line plot. The only difference is I have provided some extra arguments, like marker argument. Okay, marker means these points, follow my cursor, these points how you want to showcase on the plot. So I want to showcase them as a triangle, as a V shape rather. So see, all the marker points are there, right? All the marker points you can see. For example, the first was this 5 and 10. So 5 and 10, the first marker value, then 2 and 5 the second marker value, and so on. Then the second argument is color. I want to show it as a red color, so the code is R, small r. And the line style I want dotted. There are different line styles that you can go for. So this is the link. So as per your choice, how you want to customize it, how you want to showcase it, you can simply go, understand, and use it. All right, it's very easy. You see, that's the power of using Python, right? Why Python is so popular? Because it's a general scripting language, right? Most of the things you write are not difficult software codes. They're basically, more or less like English text that you're writing. That is why it has becoming, it has become so easy to learn, to understand machine learning, to understand data science, to understand these difficult things, because the code is more or less like a, general scripting language. You have to simply write a script like a story. So I want to give marker, I have to write marker equal to. I have to give color, I have to write color equal to. I want to change the style of my line, I have to give line style. So there are different marker and different line style options. So you can, these are the two links which I have mentioned. So you can just go on these links, and you can give marker O. So instead of V, it will take O as the marker. So different sorts of markers available. The updations keep on happening. So the way, or how you really want to beautify your plot, you can go ahead with it. And similarly with the line style as well. Okay. So if I simply take it into the my interface. So now the data is exactly same. So if you look, when I earlier plotted this data, it was like this. It was a blue line by default. Okay. The same data is there. Markers values are not shown. There are no marker point. There is no dotted lines. It's a straight solid line. So now if you use this, these are the extra arguments that I have mentioned: marker, color, and line style. Okay. So now if I run it, now see. So this time my markers are there, which is in the form V, because I have mentioned it to be like that. The color is red, not the default blue, and the line style is dotted. Okay, dashed rather, I will say. Otherwise it will give you solid. So this is how you can customize the appearance of your data very easily, just by giving certain extra arguments, very simple arguments. If you use it once, twice, thrice, and four times, definitely you're gonna remember it. You really don't have to wait. Now similarly it's with the bar plot. In the bar plot as well, the same data, everything is same. Okay. Sorry, the line plot only, but this time I have changed the style of the line and the marker. So in this case I have given marker V. So marker V, color R. The only difference is the line style. So here I have told that I want the line style to be dashed. By default it's a solid line, which we have seen above. So if I take this code again, and let's say I copy paste it here. Now I don't want any type of line style. Okay, so I can mention the word none. Okay, so when I will mention the word none, there would be no line style. It will only show me the markers. It will just become like a scatter plot, you can say. So no lines, nothing is there, only the marker points are there. Okay, so this is line plot without any lines. There are no lines, there is no solid line, there is no dashed line or no dotted line. Okay, so you can do this type of styling as well. So the styling in which only marker points are shown, everything else is missing. Or you don't want to show it, rather than the use the word missing, I can say you don't want to show. Okay, and this is where you have three different type of values. So we'll take this into the next session. So thank you so much for this session. Keep practicing.